It's about time. What's going on?
Rumor Report, Rumor Report. This is the Rumor Report.
Talk to him.
With Angela Yee on The Breakfast Club.
Well, YFN Lucci turned himself into police yesterday. He faces a murder charge, and that's in connection to a fatal shooting that happened last month. Now, they said he's being wanted. He was wanted on charges of felony murder, aggravated assault, participation in street gang activity, and possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. Officers did respond to calls of a person that was shot around 5:20 p.m. December 10th. That's when they found James Adams, 28 years old, in the street with a gunshot wound to his face. And then a short time later, a second victim, Kevin Wright, arrived at an area fire station by private vehicle with a gunshot wound to his abdomen. Homicide investigators feel like those two shootings were likely related. They also did put out a 911 call that led to the felony murder warrant for YFN Lucci's arrest.
That's going to cost a grip. I hope he wasn't involved in that situation, but if he wasn't, it's going to cost him a lot of money to prove he wasn't.
The 911 call is so crazy. I mean, there was two ladies, they were walking down the street and was like, hey, we just seen a car just throw a dude out on the street. And he's shot in the head, and he like, I just seen him take his last breath. The 911 call is crazy.
That happened in Atlanta?
Yeah.
In Atlanta.
That's where you going this weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. You work in New York?
I don't actually. I really don't.
You all right?
All right, now in the wake of James Harden's comments that we played for you guys earlier, where he just feels like the Rockets just aren't good enough, Demarcus Cousins has some things to say. Here's what he said.
Me personally, I don't feel betrayed at all. My interest is playing with John Wall, to be brutally honest. And with that being said, the disrespect started way before, any interview. Just the approach to training camp, showing up the way he did, the antics off the court. I mean, the disrespect started way before.
Damn, DeMarcus kept it 100. That's real. He said James Harden showed up looking like he wanted to do the busted challenge. You got all that ass, you know what I mean? He was like, you ain't come in here, you didn't come here in shape. You wasn't respecting yourself. You wasn't respecting your teammates. That is disrespectful. You have a responsibility. When you put your name on that contract, you have a responsibility to show up
to you and your teammates.
Not only for yourself, but to your teammates and the people that watch you. Yeah, that is disrespectful. It is.
All right, now Freddy Gibbs just recently did an interview with Vulture, and it seems like he's down to squash his beef with Jeezy. He does admit that his real diss track from the Madlib produced Pinata album was spawned from hurt feelings. He said he doesn't have any issues with Jeezy, because remember, he was signed to Jeezy. And he just says, I was more hurt than anything. That's what it feels like when one of your favorite rappers gets at you like that. I think that he sees where I'm at now, and then he looks back at that ish and he regrets it. I don't say I regret nothing, but it's better ways I could have handled things with him, maybe talked it out and communicated better. Maybe it could have worked out.
That's real. I respect that. Freddie is recognizing his wounded ego, and sometimes your ego be wounded and you project your hurt onto other people. And it has nothing to do with the person that you're projecting it on. So salute to Freddy Gibbs.
I wonder what changed
that.
his mind, though, because 30 days ago, it was totally opposite.
It's life. You grow. You evolve. You know what I mean? And that might have been the moment that he really realized the error in his ways. Because I didn't understand why he was going in on Jeezy so much during the Gucci battle. But he said it. It's his hurt. That's wounded ego. He was hurt.
And he's also nominated for a Grammy Award for his album. Sometimes being successful, like sometimes you're down more when things aren't working out, but then things start really going the way they should, and then you feel a little better about a situation, and you look back and you're like, all right,
Freddie a good dude.
I'm not mad.
Well, I hope they squash it out.
Freddie's a good human. Salute to Freddy Gibbs. Drop on the clues bombs for Freddy Gibbs.
He also addressed his issues with academics, and he was going to academics. He says eventually lost his job with everyday struggle, and he said the whole thing was corny. I just feel like certain guys like that, their opinion don't really matter. Why are we even listening to a guy like that? How did he get on Twitch? He's not a DJ. I ain't got no problem with the kid. I seen that kid one day in LA before all of this started, and when I tapped him on the shoulder, he was hella spooked. So he knows what I'm about.
I mean, academics' opinion does matter. If it didn't matter, people wouldn't care. He does have a following. He does have people that listen to him.
But
so I'm not gonna say, I never say academics' opinion don't matter. That's not true.
He never claimed to be tough. He never claimed to be wild out and bring the guns with him. But, academics has an opinion. And I never understood why people say, academics' opinion doesn't matter. But then everybody gets at him all the time.
Because they know his opinion really does matter.
Obviously, it sparked some feelings with a bunch of artists.
All right, now Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez says that she felt like she could have died last week at the Capitol when Trump supporters actually rioted and showed up there. And she was on live, and here's what she said.
I had a pretty traumatizing event happen to me, and I do not know if I can even disclose the full details of that event due to security concerns, but I can tell you that I had a very close encounter where I thought I was going to die. And not just in a general sense, but also in a very, very specific sense.
Well, AOC, the feeling is mutual, because I felt like you could have died too. I actually wondered how bad that could have been if those members of Al Cracker would have seen AOC, or Representative Omar, or Nancy Pelosi. Like, if they would have actually got eyes on one of them or been in the vicinity of one of them, that would have been one of the most horrible tragedies that ever happened on American soil.
You know, I thought about that the other day, and you know, if you're a business owner and you have cash, you're able to carry a gun. Are these congressmen and women able to carry firearms to protect themselves?
No, they got metal detectors now at the White House, which I think is so strange to me. Like, why are you checking? Well, you know what? I take that back. You have to check the members of Congress because you don't know who's who. You don't know who's on whose side. You don't know. It clearly was an inside job at the Capitol, so yes, you should have metal detectors. So I get it.
Yeah, but if they don't supply security with them at all times, AOC still got to go back to the Bronx.
If I was AOC, I would hire my own security. You know what I mean? I go get the FOI. I go get a couple goons from the Bronx who still walk around with box cutters and know how to get through the metal detectors and have them with me at all times in Congress. All right? Be two brothers with some Timbs, some jean shorts on, okay, and a baby fat bubble coat. Okay.
What Remy Martin said, we walk around the metal detectors.
That's what I'm telling you.
Goodness gracious.
That's what I'm telling you.
All right, well, that is your rumor report.
Fat bubble coat?
Yeah, that makes sense.
You said it.
That don't make sense.
That's a women's line.
Sounds like you might have had one.
I never had a baby fat bubble coat. Baby fat bubble coat is for women.
You guys have Fat Farm, and we have Baby Fat.
When they were 16 in the Bronx.
They brought Baby Fat back, you know.
They cover it up. That's why they call it a baby fat coat. The coat covered up the pregnancy that they was trying to hide from their parents when they was young in the Bronx.
He's just making that up. All right. Well, that is that ain't no thing. Just in the Bronx. That is your rumor report. When we come back, we got front page news. What we talking about?
Yes, and Donald Trump has released a video, and he is asking for people to stay calm.
Oh, please.
All right. We'll get to that next. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.